Welcome to MeatballCraft, episode 57. Today our goal is to get the Eye of Gallifrey, and that means making a lot of very large multi-blocks. One of the components that we need for the 12 Gates of Heaven is the Dark Star Catalyst, and to make this we need some Parafrostinium, which we have already, Dark Star Stone, which I think we got from the Aether, any attuned crystals, the Nero stuff which we have, a Dynatos crystal which we have, Oblivion Catalyst which you can make, but we also need Dynatos crystals, and the way to get the Dynatos crystal, I think we've crafted it before, I'm sure we've used it for something, yes, the Mantle of the Stars. We just need 3 attuned crystals, Mineralis, Palotrio, Octans and Horologium, and I have 1 of each and some rock crystals, and if I get the magic wand we should be able to craft our first one and then 4 more. It'll be very nice. The only problem with this is I don't think I'll be able to tell which of these we want in each space. Oh dear. And that's our last one. We now have 4 Dynatos crystals, which I think are in the corner. So now just to collect everything else. I've just copied all the Nero bits and bobs, just so we don't use them up in this recipe. And I've also made Parafrostium. We need 6. We have 7. We have some more available to be able to make as well. We don't just have. I've just copied all the Nero bits and bobs, just so that we don't run out. Hate to have to do all this again. And I've got 6 Parafrostium ready to go as well. We now have everything to be able to make the Dark Star Catalyst, and now it's dark enough we can begin crafting. And this should be our Dark Star Catalyst. If it ever decides to finish crafting, that is. And there we go, 1 Dark Star Catalyst, which we can put with our 12 Gates of Heaven multi-block stuff. Everything else, I think, is actually really easy. Let me have a look. The Crazed Marble, we just need the Parafrosium, or Parafrosinium. I'm going to say that wrong every time. Everything else is just marble and some collector crystals. I think we should be fine then. Oh, Astral Sorcery crafting, you do take your time. And actually, not very long. I have now got the ability to make, if I put everything away properly, this. Hopefully I've put this in the right spot. Oh dear, there's places it cannot place things. Why not? Oh, is it because I put it on the ground? Can I stop this? Okay, that cancelled it. Let's try that again. Now, let's try that again. Hopefully everything's in the correct position, apart from we are missing 1 marble arch. Of course we're missing 1 marble arch. There we go, we have it now. And here is our multi-block. I've even managed to put the path in before I put it off for too long, and it looks so cool on the map. I like it being next to the Tree of Life, and all there's left to do is put collector crystals on top of all the pillars, and hopefully it'll work. I love these big multi-blocks, like having one to make nice stuff for your base when you can't do very good building. So let's see. There we go. Perfect. 1 12 Gates of Heaven multi-block complete. Next up, we're going to make the Ziggurat of Life, and I'm going to make it on top of the blood altar. It feels appropriate here, and I think it'll be cool to have a giant pentagram right here in the base. So one of the things we need for this is vaulted fabric, and if we remember, only get that by going through a dimensional door. So guess I'm off to find another dimensional door to go through and steal all of its fabric. I wonder how long it will take me to find a dimensional door when I'm actually looking for one rather than just stumbling across one. Probably a long time. My goodness, I found a woodland manor intact this time. The only one I found was that one that's not intact. Like in my whole ever Minecraft playing time. Is there anything good in these things? Well, I doubt they're gonna have a dimensional door somehow, but that was fun. Aha! Finally, a dimensional door. It took about 5-10 minutes. And we are here now to take as much Fabric of Reality. Is it still Fabric of Reality if I add? Yes, okay, that's fine. Oh dear. I appear to have fallen through the floor into limbo. That was a terrible accident. What's this on the floor? Unraveled fabric. I need this for anything? The Vengeance. What's that? Oh, that's from like ages ago. Oh well, whoops. I guess I'll better teleport out of here. Well, that was great, because now I have to go find another dimensional door. The next thing I'm working on is the High Arrow King blocks, which I think is only really the most hard thing apart from... Oh no, that's nice and easy as well. More droplets of the Great Snake. But this is pretty fine. This Nether Sky Amber is just some old stats that we've unlocked in the Blood Master stage, which was ages ago. Some of these ingots, which I've made some more of, these crystal cluster bricks, which I made, and now we just need to wait for enough blood in the blood altar to actually be able to make Gates of Endless Hunger, which always takes a very long time. And just like that, we now have our Ziggurat of Life, and it looks really, really cool. I mean, I just love it on the map. It adds a nice bit of evilness to the base, I think. So there we go. 1 very strange altar above our other altar. It looks very cool. I did have to hand place all of the buckets, but that's all right. And I have made a staff of traveling, and that's because the only way to access everything is on the inside, and there's no way in otherwise. I guess you could have come up from the bottom, but not the way I've designed it. So yes, there we go. One Ziggurat of Life. Beautiful. Perfect. Lovely. Our next multi-block is the Font of Divinity, and it's very large, very cool looking, and involves some Thorncraft stuff, specifically the Icorium Catalyst, which will also speed up the Arcane Auto Workbench, which is interesting. However, we do need Icorium, and to get Icorium, we have an Arcane Auto Infuser recipe. So we can get the Crimson Ichor nice and easily. Mythomnite blocks are also easy. Impetus gems are simple. These blank focuses should be fine, I think. Don't actually know we have a recipe for this, but we should be able to craft them if I have do I have focusing eggs? I do not, so maybe I will need to make a focusing chicken as well, which requires the Icorium gems. So we need to make some 4 Icorium at least to begin with, probably 8. However, while we do have a lot of crystals, we are running out of a few due to cooking them up down there, and our little farm is working incredibly well. However, only having one Essentia crystallizer is painfully slow. We have tons of crystals which are just simply not being hooked up at all. See, this is our backlog currently, and it's going very slow. So I'm going to make a couple more of these, I think, just to help speed things along. There we go. We now have 3 more. Hopefully this will speed things up a little bit. Actually, it's so fast now that the system can't even keep up with extracting them, so that's just perfect. And of course, that speed problem can be fixed with a test locator. Much better. One of the things we need for Icorium is the Crimson Ichor, and to get that, I have basically just dumped out our supply of honeycombs that we had in here, and that is just making us the Ichor gem. I've got quite a lot of it now actually, so I'll just leave that in there, so whenever the bee produces we will get more. We are going to need 16 blank greater focuses made with the worst recipe. Soon be able to make them with this better recipe once we have the eggs, but we need blank lesser focuses, and the best way to do that is get fluid subconscious and Darwin lumps. I will set this up in a little bit downstairs, but for now I'm just doing it in the Tinker Smeltery, and we need Darwin lumps and fluid subconscious, and fluid subconscious is just lumps. So there we go. This should be, oh gosh, it's making loads, so that's perfect. So hopefully now we should be able to make 8 Icorium, and hopefully it'll all work completely fine. And now we have our Icorium, we can make it into Icorium gems in a Thaumatorium. And now we have our Icorium gems. We should be able to just do this. Maybe it's the other way around, most likely. There we go. And this will make us our focusing chickens. And of course, one of the focusing chickens comes out as a baby, so I'll have to feed it up before we can catch it. Now just to do a bit of speedy breeding. And now we are producing focusing eggs, and making the blank greater focus will be much easier now. I've set up a little system to hopefully automate, or at least auto-craft the blank lesser focuses, or foci I suppose. I haven't tested it, so let's try it out. Craftable. Let's make 16 and see if it works. So, yep, it seems to work completely fine. So basically, the recipe just is a Darwin lump, and it makes a blank lesser focus, and we have the interface supplying Tika lumps to this melter. They are melting and supplying the fluid subconscious. Hopefully we don't need more than is available, but that should keep it automated for now. Perfect. I am just crafting up the Icorium catalysts. And while I was waiting, I was trying to make some of the other things that we need. We need something called shungite casing. And to get shungite casing, we need shungite. And we do have one shungite. However, we need 3 more. And I can't remember where on Zoe they came from. So I guess we're going to have to go back to Zoe and try and find the rest of the shungite. Only I knew we needed 4 in the first place. Oh well. While I was here, I've taken a meatball engineer with me, as I think he might be able to give us some stuff that we want. 99, I can't get out of here. Okay, the shungite is just available in the enchanted gravitite structures, so it shouldn't be too hard for us to get a couple more. And now I have enough shungite to be able to replicate it. Perfect. I'll keep 4 aside so that we never have to do that again. And now we have this meatball engineer. Let's steal his armor. Oh, hello. You look less scary now. And what did you give us? Oh, look, draconic armor, though I think it is just about to die. So it's not perfect. Oh no, maybe it just needs charging. Does it just need charging? Is that a thing? Oh yes, it just needs charging. So now we've got a bunch of draconic armor for free. Amazing. To be able to make our shungite casing, we need more gravitite dust, and there's a few ways to get it, but at our point of the game, which is really the end, we should make the recursive processor graviton. That just takes liquid starlight, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, and either a stellar alloy grinding ball or a diamond grinding head, depending on what we want. I think we want more gravitite dust at the moment, so we'll make a diamond grinding head for this, and it should be fine. I have made our graviton controller thing, and now there's liquid starlight in already. I just chuck in gravitite. It should work. Yep, it works. It's probably already full on the output. Yep, already full. Lovely. So I just need to, yeah. I don't know if it's one of those ones that will void items, so I'm gonna maybe I will do it with test locators just in case. So now we should be able to make as much shungite casing and shungite as we want. I put Rive 15 RIVE on a shikaxe to help me mine mud because I need so much of the stuff, and apart from waiting for environmental miners to finish mining, this seems like the best way to get lots in a short space of time. Until we get to the swamp dirt, that is. Yeah, mine's pretty well. Over in the distance, you'll see I have set up another of our multi-blocks, and this one's a bit strange because you have to go into the iCore to access it. I can't even remember where the scroll is. Oh, here it is, Font of Divinity. This is our Font of Divinity. And only the bottom half did I make. The top half was all from the multi-block, but I just made a pillar and connected it. I'm not sure if I like it or not. I think I do. I think it looks quite cool, especially from a distance. And I put some orange nitor on top so that it would have a cool sort of torch effect. So I think it's actually pretty cool. It's probably my favorite one. I'm not sure. I do think it looks cool. It looks cool on the map as well. They all do. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that one. Our final one I have been working on a little bit, and that is the Fluid Matrix Plasma Collider, which looks like this. Also very cool. However, this one's annoying to make, and one of the things that we need to make is this Matrix Plasma Fuser, and we need 4 hole rooms for this, made such as this, which is easy enough, but the thing that we need really is this time crystal. And the way to get the time crystal is through the cube, which I don't know if you remember, but we built a space for it and then just never built it. So I suppose it is time for us to finally build cube multi-block, and that's because we need to make Matrix Plasma Fuser, just the one, to be able to make the Fluid Matrix Plasma Collider. That requires time crystals, which are only made in the cube. So that's what I'm doing right now, just waiting for the cube to assemble itself. And we now have our cube. So if I put in 1 bucket of liquid UU matter and 1 bucket of Higgs boson, we should get, if it's working, yep, it's working, should get our time crystal. We should get 10 of them. Yay, time crystal. Lovely. That the quest? I haven't actually looked in the quest book for a little bit. Oh, well, I did that. And what's this? Time crystal. Yeah, perfect. AC82. Oh, if I unlock that? Ah, this thing. Interesting. Finally, after a lot of time, I have completed our Fluix Matrix Plasma Collider controller. And fun fact, if you put fluid in a reservoir, it places automatically with the stick thing, which I didn't know until just now, and I put it in a reservoir just to place it all manually, but it does it itself. So that's an interesting thing if you have to place foods to things and they hurt you like this one does. But there we go. And yes, I know it's floating right now, but because of the way you use it, which is strange matter, you need this Californium lattice. Yes, there's other things that we'll need before we can actually use this and it will become a tower. So right now it's floating, but rest assured, it will look better soon. But there we go. Now we have all 4 of the multi-blocks that we need made. And yes, it took me a very long time. So I think it'll take a long time to automate it all too, but we'll see. So for a brief overview of the sort of things we'll be needing, for Dark Starlight we will be needing a linear plasma accelerator. I'm not quite sure what it means by Starlight 5000, so I guess we'll have to figure that out when we get to it, but this is probably the most simple one. Sacrificial essence is also fairly easy. We've already making liquid life. I think we've got demon hearts passive. Yes, I'm pretty sure we do. And we'll need some will, which we already have, to be able in a Berserker crucible, which is another block. We'll need probably 5 of them. And I would also probably wouldn't mind something that will this. Oh, another way to make will. Interesting. I would also probably need another corrupted library. That's probably going to be useful for that. And that's another one done. Impetus siphon we will need for the pristine aura, but it actually, I think you can just connect it to the thing. It says if you look at this block, yes. So yes, we can connect it. I think we can probably make 4 and connect them all, so that should be fine. And we will also need crystal water, which is a thaumatorium recipe, and we will also need a gem of the aura, which is for your extreme crafting. I think strange matter is probably going to be the most complicated one, and that's because we need these strange matter capsules, which are the things that go in the fluid matrix plasma collider that we just made. So I will probably make another plasmatic controller to make enough dense plasma for all of this, and we'll also need a Californium lattice, which requires this primed megalium lattice, which isn't too bad to make, but what we really need is this fluid Californium lattice, which is a mix of Californium 256, which we required a safe nuke detonation environment and also nukes to be able to make, and also fluid crystal matrix, which is high particle steam in a condensation reactor, so we'll have to make that, and we'll need to fluid enrich wet steam with crystal binder, and that to get wet steam we need to get a heat exchanger tube, so another heat thingy-mabob with mineral water in, which we're making in loads of different places, so that should be fine, but it's just a little bit more complicated, several more multi-blocks, and quite a lot to be getting on with. So let's start with the easiest one and see how we get on. This is going to be our room that we are going to put the linear plasmatic thingy-mabobby in. It is just underneath the thing. Yeah, here we go. It's just underneath here. I will put in an elevator here once I remembered. And okay, the wall's there, so maybe I won't put it there. I'll probably put it in the corner then if that's the case. And yeah, there we go. I know it's a little large, but who cares? So the Dark Starlight was actually incredibly easy. So we've set this up. It's not giving us radiation. Good, I kind of was worried it would. But yes, this is making us the Sidereal Life Essence just out of, I think it's Life Essence. Yes, Life Essence and Starlight, which we've done before, and it's nice and easy. So that just runs below here. And then up here, we have the input. So we are inputting our Sidereal Life Essence via laser. And fun fact, the way you get the Starlight into this is by using a linking tool and linking each of the crystals. Between each link, I also scrolled away so it said stop linking because it wouldn't link if I just linked one. So I've linked all 12, and this is getting loads of Starlight. I think it probably works during the day. I just turned it to night because I wasn't sure what I was doing. And here we go. Loads of Dark Starlight, which is exactly what we need. So we're producing that well. Again, it's taking about 30 million RF per tick. Okay, that's fine actually. We've got loads of RF per tick suddenly. I thought we were having a problem with RF. We're not. So yeah, there we go. So that one was already sorted out. That one was nice and easy. Thumbs up. We like that one. Now, my main issue for this one is I probably misguidedly decided to build it on top of the Blood Altar, which leaves us just not very much room to expand, though I think I will build a platform behind it here for us to have 5 Berserker Crucibles and a corrupted library, and that should be good. Okay, this is a very scuffed system to try and get some Wings of Worship. I have the Diabolus spell, which makes the witchery bosses, and I was trying to funnel them into a corner to keep them alive, but they just get stuck, so I guess we're just gonna have to spawn the guy if we ever need more, and maybe figure something else out in the future, because they're literally everywhere, which isn't great. And it's really hard to look at this, but we are getting some demon hearts, and we did get some Wings of Worship. There they are. Should have left one in there so we could keep collecting them, but no. Yeah, so it's yeah, there we go, Wing of Worship. So it's annoying because we get lots of rubbish as well, but yeah, I can't remember how many we need, but we do need, I think so, need 35 Berserker Steel. I didn't know how many Wings of Worship we had already. We need 14 more and some Souls of the Dragon Slayer, which are just whispering hearts that I need to make myself. So there we go. That's a very chaotic system. I'm building these, and I'm not sure if this will be alright or not, because it's not in the same chunk. So yes, I will build these. Hopefully it's fine. Otherwise, I'm not quite sure where I meant to put them, because this isn't one chunk. So unless I have to put them specifically close to this. Oh, I don't think they'd fit in now. Oh yes, come up with a different design if this doesn't work, but we'll see. I'm testing it. There's not enough will, but that might be because we're missing purple will crystals. Actually, not sure. I don't have any because I just don't. So I'll make the corrupted library and we'll see. I got some purple will. It is the chunk problem that I imagine, so we're going to change things up a bit and probably not use any of these things that I've just made. Typical. Okie dokie, so I've chucked a corrupt library inside the pyramid and I've just got some demon crucibles here to cook it up, and that seems to work fine. We didn't need to be dramatic about it. I'll take that thing outside down because it's kind of ugly anyway. So there we go. Now we are making some sacrificial essence, and we only have one demonically gargantuan drum left, so we'll fill it with this, and that's actually 2 of the liquids done. I have not fully automated this because it was taking... I've put some droplets of the Great Snake in. I'll probably just add Sednanite, if I can remember the chests, just so that we can automate it. It's not as efficient, but ferric sand's free. We have millions of Sednanite. Is there Sednanite in here? Yes, so I'll just put that in after we've run out of droplets of the Great Snake, which make a stack at a time. So, I mean, that's really, really efficient. We probably won't run out of stuff that quickly. I also haven't automated putting demon hearts in here. I just chucked a bunch in. Yeah, that could probably be enough really, but we'll see. Okay, so I've not finished making the impetus siphons, but just so if you're making them, you know how to place them. So we start with a dirt block on here and we go 1, 2, 3, 4 out like this. And I'm saying this because I've just had a lot of struggle placing it. So we're like this, and then we want it to face this way. So that's to the left of the void block, facing the direction outwards, such as this. I don't know if that makes any sense, but hopefully you can see that visualized nicely, and that should fit it perfectly in. The image is very hard to tell, but I've done this twice and it's worked both times, and if we look now, it should fit nicely on top of the void block. It does. Maybe it's one too high, who knows, but there we go. That should fit nicely. So I haven't made the rest of the bits, but I just wanted to show you sort of how to place it before I did all of them. I guess I have placed them one too high and I really don't care anymore. It still works. So there we go. Now we have the sort of layout set up. I need to turn this off because it's just going to pick up random things. But there we go. This makes our kind of cool looking thing look even cooler. So yeah, perfect. So I just need to collect the rest of the stuff that we need and we should have the 4 impetus siphons that we want. After a bit of finagling, we have at least got one of the impetus siphons working. I haven't done the other 3 with... I honestly can't really be that bothered. But here we go. I've just got 3 Mithrilium smelteries hooked up. I'm using a bit of A2 to transfer the Essentia because I couldn't really figure out how else to do it well. But I've got the 3 Vitium 3 crystals in that we need, including Imperium, which apparently we're having a bit of a struggle actually getting into the ender chest, but whatever. This will go into this impetus output hatch when got some impetus in the bottom, some impetus jewels, and we just need to link with a impetus resonator to one of these impetus input hatches, and over here it should be working. It's working so well we are actually out of room for the output, and here we go, our pristine aura, and this gets 10,000 per 40 impetus, 1 gem of the aura and 100 crystal water, so we'll make quite a lot very easily. Oh, funny creatures have appeared at the bottom of my tower. Very strange. I thought there'd been some sort of bizarre explosion or something, some sort of like a glitch, but it's just where I've been filling up the nitro diesel tanks automatically. That really gave me a fright. I thought something horrible had happened. Well, I've discovered what the limited input thing on the quantum compressor means, and it means that it can just input forever and ever and ever. I wonder how much gold we actually have now after letting it do that for too long. Plenty. But yeah, be wary. So we need some Californium 250, and currently we're not making it with this system because we're silly. So we have to do 2 more of these. Luckily we have enough, and that will make us the Leb 248 and HECF 249, and that should get us Californium 250. And after a bit of faffing about, we are now making Californium 250, and quite a lot of it actually, and it's hopefully mostly only using stuff that we're not in, though I'm not entirely sure. Also, what's this one and why is it empty? Volume 2, that's probably something to do with a B, so that's fine. But there we go, we've already got actually quite a lot of it, so yeah, perfect. I assume this production will slow down once we've kind of run out of a backlog of some of the other elements, but for now, that's pretty good. But to get the Californium 256, which we actually need, we are first going to need some nukes, which is this sort of thing. Are we making HEU 235 fuel? I am not HU3. Maybe I can just chuck a bit of HU235 on the end and then just import it back in system or something. We will see. I think I can make it and then make some nukes, but the main thing we actually need is this safe nuke detonation environment, which is should be fine enough to make. I think it's just kind of large, so this is what's going to go underneath our phase thing, which I can't remember the name of. Fluid Matrix Plasma Collider. So fun fact, we need black grass for our next task, which we need how much? 21. So I mean, I'm not entirely sure. I think the only way to get it is by, oh, this is stuff under it? I've never looked under this. Blast bricks and a magma anvil. I've just ignored that the whole time. What even is a magma anvil? So look, repair anything using lava. Okay, well, I must have found that at some point. Blast bricks, well, that's kind of it. Anyway, that's the only way I think to get black grass. So, oh no, it's got EMC. Okay, never mind. We've got all the black grass that we need now. But yeah, funny little tangent there. And here we have one lovely nuke detonation chamber thing. Lovely. To melt the Californium 250, I'm just taking it out of drawer network and putting it straight into the ender chest. I could have a buffer. Maybe I'll have a small drawer buffer and that's it. I just didn't want to use up all of the Californium. There we go. That'll do. Just have a small buffer just so that we have it if we need it, really. Okay, I've just set it up. I've put some nukes in. We've got the Californium going into it, and we are producing our Californium 256, which I shall put into another fluid drawer. We don't want to have a too large a buffer of this, just so we don't take up all the Californium 250, because it is actually used for other things as well. And there we go, into a drawer, Californium 256. Okie dokie, I've spent some time setting up the wet steam one, had a couple issues, but nothing too severe. Thank you, Discord, for helping. You have to use one of the hot outputs as of the like molten salt reactor as the heating for this. I was trying to use lava, that doesn't work. So it's the same as the molten salt reactor, apart from cold and hot have to go opposite ways. So we've got the cold water, mineral water going this way, and then the hot, this stuff going that way. And this will cool this down slowly, and this will warm up into wet steam. And slowly but surely we are getting the wet steam, so that's good. So I will need to do a bit of finagling to ensure get the correct output from this, but there we go. It can always increase size if we need. The second heat exchanger is actually a lot simpler. We just take our thingy-mabob, whatever this was, whatever the wet steam turned into with the crystal binder. Can't remember off the top of my head now because I'm silly. Anyway, that goes into here, and instead of having heat exchanger tubes, we are just having 4 buckets of destabilized redstone here, 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 and here inside, and that just produces us the crystal fluid matrix, and actually quite a lot of it. 15 gets us, it's actually less, we'll get less per, but it seems to be fairly fast. We must have had a bit of a backlog up in here, but there we go, it's working. We have our thing. Woo! So now with a salt mixer we can combine the fluix, or the fluid crystal matrix, and the Californium 256, and we get Californium lattice. Next we need to take some primed megalium capsules and put them in the fluid infuser with our lattice to make Californium lattice capsules. So now if I've got 10 Californium lattices, I've connected all of the fluid inputs with some cool lasers to some dense plasma, so this should work. If I chuck this in, not enough energy. That's because I didn't disable the limit on the flux plug. But now we should have enough energy, missing fluid input, but we've already got 2 strange matter capsules. So all we need to do is fluid extract and we shall have strange matter. And yes, no, this isn't really automated quite at the moment because I don't have the primed thing done, but whatever. We only need 100 millibuckets to make a strange matter. To make an Eye of Gallifrey. So I will automate it properly later on. And there we go. We are fluid extracting. We now have 10,000 strange matter, which is pretty good. So now we have all the fluids sorted out for the Eye of Gallifrey. If I look at the recipe for Mr. Eye of Gallifrey over here, we need 4 things that aren't the liquids, and that is a gem of recursion fragment for the Shirelands, an Arcan gem, and some ender dolomite dust. We are also going to need a Shyre Wormhole, which has actually a horrible, horrible recipe, and I don't like it, but we'll do it. So we need 1 of each sort of garnet singularity, I think. I'd imagine we can do this. We can't make it cheaper with cut garnets. It's basically the same, just times 4, which is a little annoying. So I'm going to hopefully try and get all of that and a cinder log. Okay, so I've made singularities for all of the garnets that we actually had enough of. However, anything from, I think it's the 3rd and 4th mythic shell, as well as the Shirelands, we don't have. So I need to do this recipe or, well, and this recipe. So we should be able to bump up the numbers pretty easily. Oh, and there's the Vethia one. I don't have that either. So yeah, we'll have to add a bit of pumping up for those ones. Shirelands is a bit different. We don't have enough garnets, and yeah, the only way to make the garnet is through this sort of recipe, which I mean, I don't know if we can actually do or not, but there's also the Stone of the Shyre Warden, which means we need to make the Shyre Warden Summoner and the Denighting Stick, which actually, okay, we don't actually have any of this. Eye of Limbo, a Warren Blindfold, Essence of the Myth. Oh, this is the Dimensional Doors one. Did we not do this? Did I not? I'm so sure I made the blindfold. Maybe we didn't. No. So yeah, we need to make this. Oh, the Dimensional Doors. Yes, using the Limbo. Interesting. Oh, I guess we need to do that. It's funny because I've been preparing for this for a while. I've literally got an Essence of the Mythic Shell here ready to do it, but we already have a blindfold from Ice and Fire, so we just need to go into the Dimensional Doors to find the 4 beacons. So, I mean, we could just cheat and look at the thing, but let's go and have a bit of fun after building all these multi-blocks. I thought I found a dimensional door. I found nothing. That's sad. Oh, but lucky me, I found one anyway. Woohoo! Well, turns out that one, it just bugged out and booby trapped me and just sent me to limbo, so that's a little bit annoying. Maybe I should make a dislocator so we can come back here when we need to use the blindfold, and I'm annoyed at dimensional doors now. We're going to just do it with the answer. Turns out we don't actually have any of the bees that can make any of this sort of thing. We've got a galvanized drone, but that's it. So I guess we've got some bee breeding to do. Now to play a very fun game of trying to find some nether hives, which I don't know if I've ever actually found. I would have had some of the bees if I'd found them. I have no idea where they spawn. I think they spawn with glowstone, but I've really not sure, and I couldn't see any on the roof of Nether. Maybe I just missed them, but yeah, good. Aha, here's one. It just spawns on its own, and we got some embittered bonds, but it is ignoble, so useless. Thanks. And literally, just as I was saying, I hope it produces what we want. We got a zinc comb, so that's one. We just need the other 3, and we should be good. It didn't take too long, so now if I find an empty crafting table rather than one full of nonsense, like my one here, we can put in these, blindfold and these, and there we go, 1 Warren blindfold. So now we just need to go to limbo. Here we are in limbo. Hopefully we're not going to lag. Okay, no, we're good. Let's do this, I guess. I don't really know what this does. Oh, okay, it just dropped something. It just gave us the Eye of Limbo. Be usable for summoning the Shyre Warden. Okay, so I can just... Hello, guys. I think we can just leave. So I guess we can make as many of these as we want. So, oh, okay, they don't stack. I don't think we need that many anyway. Warning, the knight can only be defeated with the denighting stick. Okay, so let's make us a denighting denight stick. Where is it? It has a dash. There we go. 1 denighting stick, and I feel like I did this already, but evidently not. So let's, I mean, it'll probably be in the Shire or whatever, so let's just do it over here and see. Hello. Oh, quartz dimensional door. We have one of them. That's good. In our quartzy dimension, let's chuck him down. Hello, guy. Oh, you're dead. Oh, and you gave me lots of these. Did I bring the eye thing with me? Oh, thank goodness I brought the eye thing with me. We need 5,000. This might take a while. I'm sure there's a better way of doing it than the way I'm going to do it, but I don't care. Well, this is very fun and actually not too grindy because you can stack the denighting sticks, which helps a lot. Oh, they're still going to drop terrible rubber. I'm going to get in my way. Okay, we've got enough now. It took me literally like a minute, so that wasn't as grindy as I thought it would be. So we need to be able to make some more garnets for the 3rd and 4th mythic shell garnets, and the best way to do that is through the mythic assembler, and for that, for all of them, we need resonating matter, which is just made an atomic replicator, which we'd already set up. I have a very odd line here going from these over to here because it was easier to put the aspect in that way. We have some twilight matter already. I've just chucked in some lattices and some white matter, and that should hopefully get us enough. And we are making resonating matter. We will need quite a lot. It is 1,000 per, and I want to do like maybe a stack of each. So we should have the corrupted aragonite already, and I just need, if it ever stops lagging, we just need the Mithrilium catalyst now, just waiting for the chicken to back up a bit. So now I can make enough, hopefully enough garnets to get us the 4th mythic shell ones. I've just put these in. I'm not using all of the Mithrilium catalysts because I don't think we'll need them, and we'll probably need the other things. Now to make the Shyre Wormhole, the only thing we are missing is the Vethia garnets, and they are taking a little bit of time. However, I have noticed there's something that we do need, because we need the Arcan Gem, which requires Etherium dust, which requires Etherium ore, which you can get a botanical nightmare stone to make this more easily, but we need an orchid. I don't think I've got one of these, but it should be easy enough. We should have plenty of the ore. It's just something that I could have done ages ago and just never did. So to get the orchid, I need to chuck this in here, and okay, there we go, an orchid ignum. And we are going to need another guilty mana pool, but we can't make that right now because we need some of these terrestrial crystals, which actually apparently we can copy. I didn't know that. Well, I guess that's something we've got to do then. I've had to take this to the nether because I couldn't get it to work in the overworld, but it's working now, and there we go. We have our thing that we wanted, which is the Etherium ore. So yeah, now we've got one. We'd never have to use them again, or the normal orchid either, so that's very lovely, and I should have done that probably a long time ago. To actually make our Etherium, we need the mythical alloy smelter, and we chuck void seed, a corrupted stone, selenite dust, a honeycomb ingot, and the ore in here, and fingers crossed this should get us registered. Yep, and I look in the system. There we go, 1 Etherium ingot. Perfect. Luckily, I left a supply bag over from the Guardian of Gaia, and we should be able to craft a medal for heroism, and then everything else I think should be fairly easy. Yeah, everything should be good. I'm doing it down here because this is the one that is connected to a mana pool. If it ever stops lagging, here we go. So what we need is a Orichalcus, recursive powder, dream dirt, Etherium ingot, medal for heroism, and a supply bag. Okay, never mind which one's Orichalcus in the supply bag got picked back up again. So I'll just grab a couple more. Right, click them on. There we go. And now it should drop. And we have our, what's it called? Dreamstone or something? Nightmare stone. It's completely the opposite. There we go. 1 botanical and nightmare stone. And we've learned it and we never have to make it again. And I think that was a quest from like ages and ages ago. So we finally... Where is it? Here. This is when we were meant to make the Arcan Gem and we didn't, so we did it. Now that we have the Botanical Nightmare Stone, we need the Etherium ore, so I have just taken over whatever was making us the Arcan Stone before, since we don't really need that setup now, and we are just producing Etherium ore. I can change this if we need the Arcan Stone again, that's fine, but here we have it. It was just the same, so it's just placing down Botanical Nightmare Stone, there's pure daisies about, and when it gets made, it gets broken by this quarry, which is filtered only to break Etherium ore, so yeah, it works perfectly fine. So now we're getting as much, well, tons of Etherium ore, which we can then use to make our Etherium ingots in a alloy furnace. And after a little bit of a wait, we should now be able to make the Shyre Wormhole. Well, we would if I could put the Vethia thing in here. There we go. 1 Shyre Wormhole will now be crafted, and it shouldn't actually really take long. Nope. There we go. 1 Shyre Wormhole. There's the quest, and now we should be able to make... Once we get the Arcan Gems, we will be able to make the thingy recursion of the Shyre or whatever. I've also realised that we will be needing Arcanstone a lot more than I thought, so I've just got all the supplies ready to make a Dreamstone. This should drop automatically in a second. There we go, and now we have a Botanical Dreamstone, which in the same way will make us Arcanstone as with the Etherium ore. And this is the Arcanstone setup. It mostly works, I think. I feel like it's gone a bit funny, so I'm just going to reset the shape like so, just in case I've missed something. It felt like it's missing a couple of the bits of stone for some reason, but maybe it'll come to them. Yeah, there we go. It seems to be working a bit better now, so there, perfect. Now, to actually be able to get the Arcan Gems that we need, we are going to need an Etherium saw blade, and to get this we need an Etherium singular condensate, so that's just 5,000 and a bit Etherium ingots, which we can get quite easily, so I'll just let this run for a little longer and we should get it in no time. While I've been waiting for the Etherium to finish crafting, we have made a creation altar just above the last one, and this is what will make us our Eyes of Gallifrey, which is pretty nice. And now we should be able to make ourselves a nice little Etherium saw blade. Perfect. If nothing goes wrong, we should now be able to make our Arcan Gems. This should, yep, that cut up, and then we will get the dust and the Arkenstone, and that should be our Arken gems. We get 64 of them. Perfect. So now we have that, we should be able to make our recursion fragment for the Shirelands and teach it to our transmutation table so that we never have to make it again. And now that should be everything for the Eye of Gallifrey. I just need to program in the recipes and we should be good to go. Okay, everything's programmed in, so let me see if I can maybe make a stack. I don't know if we have enough of the fluids, but we have enough of everything else, I think. Oh, it's processing. It's doing it. So now if I look at that, is it not sending back? Oh, it's just taking its time because we're getting so many of the garnets out of it. So there we go. We've got our Eyes of Gallifrey. Woohoo! Perfect. And I think that's a good place to end today's episode. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.